people, Infantry here, 1v1, Outer Reaches, blue side. Phase 2, that producer is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Looks like we have some Black Legion. Gonna run into Destoffel though as a Hive Tyrant, a very durable hero that walks through objects and cannot be suppressed with powerful disruption and support. Begins in melee combat with a basic synapse. I shall call you Roberto. Did scare off the Sorcerer there. What might yet, we're going to run into these Hormagaunts. We've got double Hormagaunts into Termagants for Destoffel. We might see some more Hormagaunts too to help contest the outer rim of the Outer Reaches. It does have a reputation as quite a large map. It certainly feels large. I haven't looked at it in the world builder to see if it actually is, or how much larger it is than, say, Greentooth Gorge or something. No Doom Blast, eh? Well, this is interesting. Why are you not Doom Blasting, fellas? Did you forget to attach demonic explosives to yourself? Well, that was weird. Hormagaunts got away with 4 models. Heretics got away with 5. They should have Doom Blasted. Just completely piled onto those Hormagaunts there. Oh, it's double Termagants, double Hormagaunts for Destoffel. Okay. Looks like the Hormagaunts are going to make it to the contested VP. Hasn't taken the natural VP yet, though. Contested all the way up in this northeastern corner. You see these points on the edges as well, so you need a fair amount of units to contest that. I think phase 2 is going to get a aspiring champion at some point, at least one, because otherwise they'll just get bullied by the Hormagaunts if they get adrenal glands and stuff. They might run into them there. Meanwhile, Roberto's taking a bunch of damage from bolter fire and stuff. There's the double Termagants. I guess they'll hang around the Hive Tyrant, cripple things while he ties things up. Hormagaunts can do the capping. You only get a single natural power on this map in the east and north here for phase 2, that producer. What exactly is he producing? That's a decent Doom Bolts. Is he just producing heresy? Maybe he's laying down some tracks, some diss tracks against the Emperor with heretics and noise marines and stuff. Hive Tyrant runs away because heretics would have done some damage if they caught him in retreat there. These Hormagaunts, you know what, those CSM might lose a model in this fight. They're pretty low to go into here. Doom Bolts tries to even it up, but you can see the amount of damage those CSM are taking. And that's without adrenal glands on these Hormagaunts. And that's with their damage nerfed in 294 as well. Those fellas barely got away without dropping a model. Sorcerer smacks them up on retreat, hits level 2. Meanwhile, Hormagaunts have pushed through onto the power, and they're going to actually bash the node here. Well done, fellas. There is this wreck point right in the corner as well, which they might be able to decap, which would be very annoying to have to retake. Kind of goes out of your way to get it back again. Oh, we got Noise Marines. I told you he's laying down some tracks. These guys have a Sonic Blaster. Good AoE damage to light infantry. Could also disable ranged weaponry and attacks and shake apart structures. So they might be going after the power on the other side. Heretics suddenly way more confident in this fight with Noise Marine back up. They've just got an aspiring champion. But again, no Doom Blast from phase 2. Cares about his heretics. Doesn't want to see them explode. Very odd. Oh, that is a seismic roar, I think. Yep, rending talons up for Roberto. Bad news for any heretics he may fight. And CSM, because, you know, 75 DPS melee is quite painful. And heavy infantry doesn't get any protection against regular melee attacks. Look how nasty that Noise Marine Sonic Blaster is to those double Termagants. Heretics almost finished them off with a single model there on like no health, 4 hit points. Meanwhile, Roberto ties up the Noise Marines. Might get a model. That's a good special there. Think he's going to get one, you know. Down goes a Noise Marine. Heretics were just an aspiring champion and a single heretic on those guys. There's that seismic roar for the other heretics. Mopping up here, Roberto. Unlucky not to be... There we go, there's level 2. He's going to wipe these guys out. Oh, I don't think he can turn in time to get that one. I think they're okay. Did some really good work, though. Messed up those heretics. I think he thought about going for the VP there, phase 2. But decided against it. We have a Ravener Brood now for Destoffel. These guys kind of burrow underground and strike their opponents, knocking them back. Also start with ranged weapons, these Devourers. which I think they shoot out of their chest, someone said. Don't quite see exactly where. But hey, let's trust them. I'm sure there are xenobiologists who said it. Heretics didn't quite fully reinforce. That's alright. They can still fight and blow up. In fact, have we seen a Doom Blast? We must have seen one. I just wasn't paying attention. Which does happen. We don't have any upgrades for the Hormagaunts or the Termagants. No Toxin Sats, no Adrenal Glands, so Destoffel looking for that tier 2, I suppose. Noise Marines with their Cacophony. Power was spent on the Rending Talons and also on the Ravener Brood themselves, which are 45 power these days, I think. Getting stuck into some melee. The Sorcerer's sword is on fire, which means it's the Sword of Flame. Actually does really well against other heroes because the damage over time stacks up. Not sure if you'll be able to go toe-to-toe with a full health Hive Tyrant though, especially with Rending Talons. What is this? Heretics with an aspiring champion, as you can see. Dealing with the Hormagaunts very well. Barely got away there. Must have been a Doom Blast. Must have been. Are they going to turn around and get the VP? No, going to decap the wreck point. Destoffel trying to settle in on this power bash, putting up a brood nest so that this stuff can reinforce. That's from the global bar of the Hive Tyrant. Here come Heretics. There's a Doom Bolts. Oh, it's a really good Doom Bolts. Holy crap. And Noise Marine Sonic Blaster weighing in. Those Termagants be dead. But they're unupgraded, and they did a good job while they were alive, so not a lot was invested in those guys. Seismic Roar, messing up these Heretics. Ravener's getting stuck into some melee. They can get a dedicated melee upgrade, Enhanced Muscle Coil, which also allows them to burrow indefinitely. It's quite cool. Gives them more health as well. You might see a Noise Marine fall over. Special attack wasn't super helpful there for Roberto. Cacophony to mess up the Hormagaunts. Can he kill a CSM model? I don't know if these guys have lost the model yet. They've got very close to it a couple of times. There goes another Brood Nest, which is a bit odd. I guess more Hormagaunts are arriving. Yeah, see the damage there that the Sorcerer is able to do to the Hive Tyrant with his Sword of Flame, but does get accosted by some Hormagaunts. Double Aspiring Champion Heretics now. Hive Tyrant needs to use... There we go. Seismic Roar and run away. Some domino knockback there, helping him escape. Hormagaunts trying to power bash with the Brood Nest in support, but with the Noise Marines there, the Brood Nest is going to go down so fast. Does provide a little bit of health regen, as well as the ability to reinforce. It's not a lot of health regen though. Hormagaunts are going to wipe here. That was a little bit sloppy from Destoffel. Just let those guys get whacked basically. Down to Hormagaunts, Termagants, and Raveners, and Phase 2 goes Tier 2 first. Because we only have a single generator here for Destoffel. And I don't think the Bastion, no, didn't they? Did they get any of the generators? I don't think they did. No Eternal War yet for the CSM. They're going to retreat back and heal up. Level 4 Sorcerer. Those Doom Bolts are painful. Still level 2 for Destoffel's Hive Tyrant, but it's almost level 3 of Roberto over there. And there's the Tier 2 for Destoffel. Phase 2, I think it's a decent map for a melee Dreadnought, with the warp to get it around and out of safety. Look how much red Phase 2 has already. 635. Aren't we like 8 minutes in or something? That's pretty crazy. Plenty of Heretics have died and plenty of Hormagaunts and Termagants have died, I guess. That red's going to add up. Power bashing Noise Marines. Trying to shoot up the Heretics, but most units do get a ranged damage resistance while they are engaged in melee. Most units get it. Some units don't, such as, I think, Guardsmen and some other Imperial Guard units don't get it. Hive Tyrant. Got a sync kill on a Heretic as they retreated there. Doing some good work is Roberto, and here's a Dreadnought on the way for Phase 2. A Chaos Dreadnought, I should say. Destoffel. Almost Tier 2. Almost. 1-to-1 cap here. Again, going after the easy targets. Well, the easier targets. Might need to run away though. There we go. Yeah, doing some really good damage. The Sorcerer, that Sword of Flame. These guys now have their Eternal War. Level 3 already, these CSM. Destoffel doesn't even have a Tier 2 unit out and a level 3. Yes, they shot a lot of Tyranids, eh? Here's the Dreadnought. Starts off with an autocannon. Decent damage to all targets with a small area of effect. Honestly, it's not the most impressive weapon. Can get some really powerful upgrades though. Tyrant Guard, called in from Destoffel. Global ability of the Hive Tyrant these days. This guy's pretty awesome. Big chunk of super heavy infantry armor. 2,500 hit points. Goes after the Dreadnought. Since the Dreadnought in this state does not have melee resist, it's doing really well, as you can see. Needs to keep those attacks going. There we go. I think you need to run away, Roberto. Run, Robbie, run. Run. He's going to be alright, I think. Think of the Hive Tyrant. He's okay. Dreadnought also backed off. Good first impression from the Tyrant Guard, though. Really messed up that Dreadnought. Needs to get Mark of Khorne, really. But that's just going to happen again. What is this? It's heretics on capping duty. Oh, the Sorcerer went down over here. Trying to decap the wreck point. Rippers up here now for Destoffel. Spawned from the Capillary Tower. Which provides some nice buffs. You spawn the towers from your global bar. Are they 75 red these days? I forget. Might need to get some more generators up here, Destoffel. Hive Tyrant is level 4. Sorcerer, almost level 5 when he went down. Another Capillary Tower. Tyrant Guard is fully healed up. Raveners start a shooting. They are level 2. Oh, we already have the Mark of Khorne up for the Dreadnought. Gives it 2 close combat weapons. And the Blood Rage ability. Great synergy with a Sorcerer who can teleport it out of trouble. Because it often gets into trouble. The underslung bolter, twin-linked bolter on the bottom. Now, what do you do here? I guess you tie up the Noise Marines because they're going to wreck your Hormagaunts. Hormagaunts went in a little bit early there. The timing of the approach wasn't quite right. Here's the Venom Brood to help counter that Dreadnought. Those Venom Cannons with some powerful anti-vehicle damage. Noise Marines getting messed up here. You see the Tyrant Guard now mostly avoiding the Dreadnought now that it's really scary in melee. Crunching through those heretics, doing splash damage on hit. Look at that. The Dreadnought also does splash damage on hit, way more of it too. Oh, it was teleported out there. I don't think it was in immediate danger. But, I mean, look how much red Phase 2 has. It's crazy. Maybe you should be using more of that actually with some dark flames and stuff on retreat path. Maybe they have already. Although I think it leaves a mark on the ground. I don't see. Noise Marines need to get out of here. Just gonna wait for the cacophony. It wasn't worth it. Lost the model to the Tyrant Guard. He can't knock that thing over. Are they gonna get ranged synapse? They are. That's gonna buff the Termagants and the Ravener Brood. You have some Mark of Tzeentch CSM. That's bad news for the Tyrant Guard. These Inferno Bolts will do a lot of damage to that thing. Yes, this guy might have a rough time. Going to get shot up at range by the CSM, and in melee this happens. The Dreadnought kicks its ass, although Venom Brood are helping out here. Did some good work. 374 to 403. Both the Walker type units survive. I think I'd classify the Tyrant Guard as a Walker. Doesn't have vehicle armor. But it's a big lump of hit points that smacks you around. It's a Walker. Almost going to max out their red here, Phase 2. This is nuts. 374 to 389. Level 5 Roberto now has the bonded exoskeleton. Will help him get some caps. Usually see a lot of action on the natural VPs on this map, since they're relatively close, and relatively less action on the contested VP, which is all the way up there. Another Capillary Tower. Tyrant Guard might want to back off and heal up a bit. Does not a lot of hit points against the CSM and the Dreadnought if it piles in. Some repairs there. CSM do not have their aspiring champion yet, who would get a rather spiffy demonic plasma gun. Gone tier 3 though. So could see a nuke Maybe after forcing off a bunch of stuff into base, drop a nuke on it. 370 to 376 VP's very, very even here. Dreadnought doing some good work. Venom Brood are where? They're back at base right now. Tyrant Guard charges out. Get the hell away from that Dreadnought. Smack. Ouch. Poor Hormagaunts. Think of the Hormagaunts. These guys are almost level 3, the Heretics. And these guys are level 3. These CSM are going to be level 4 pretty soon. That seems quite quick. Feels like, what, 15 minutes maybe in? 16 minutes? Venom Brood. Not wanting to engage yet. The Tyrant Guard, I don't think you want to run in there, buddy. It takes so much damage. Doom Bolts flies in. It's a pretty good one. Was a little bit of cover there, though. Rippers are not being used. We have another Tyrant Guard back there, is that? Yes, it is. So that was a brand new Tyrant Guard that came out here. I'm not sure if it was spawned again. It might have been, because Destoffel doesn't have a lot of red. 324 to 376. Destoffel starting to open up a small VP lead. The Tyrant Guard is so close to going down. Dreadnought chasing into base. Doesn't drop on nuke though. That would have been a pretty good time to drop the nuke, I think, because it would have wiped out the Venom Brood pretty quickly. The Pillory Tower for the Tyrant Guard over there that's chasing the Sorcerer. One more hit, it'll take him out. And it gets it with a sync kill back there. Looks like the Sorcerer has the Robes of Torment, judging by the grenade indicator on his decorator there. But this Dreadnought's in trouble. Can't really teleport it out, it will just teleport it to the Sorcerer. That's what Warp does. And that will still leave it in trouble. Tyrant Guard goes into shield wall, and they do take down the Dreadnought. Venom Brood gets some shots in there. It's a big win for Destoffel. Oh, there's a nuke. There's a nuke out of sheer frustration, I think. Didn't do a whole lot. Took out a couple of Venom Brood. That's not worth it for a nuke. Just a bad sequence of events for Phase 2. I guess they shouldn't have sent the Sorcerer up there. Even if he survived, would have been in a bad place to teleport the Dreadnought out. Oh, hey, but hey. Chaos Terminators are here. And if they get Lightning Claws, they will tear apart everything in Destoffel's army. They need Carnifexes to fight these guys, really. Can make it tough for Tyranids in Tier 2 to fight Terminators when they get Lightning Claws. Even if you have Gene Stealers and stuff, they're still going to get torn apart. Can't really do much at range, because these days Terminators are a medium-sized unit, so anti-vehicle weapons can't hit them reliably. A change that I didn't like. I thought it felt pretty good when Terminators were large and got hit by las cannons and stuff. Were they considered weak? I don't know why that change happened. I guess maybe it's a 1v1 thing. Terminators in 1v1s. Not always seen as the most efficient choice, but I think anti-vehicle weapons should be a viable counter to Terminators. Or at least a viable option, you know? We don't see Lightning Claws yet, though. So Destoffel can hang in melee with these guys. They've got Power Fists, which are powerful weapons, but they attack quite slowly. They're not going to mince through stuff like Lightning Claws would. Get some decent shots here. Venom Brood trying to get shots in. They still have decent accuracy against them as medium targets, but not guaranteed hits as if they were large. Hormagaunts finally got some adrenal glands. These guys are level 3, they deserve it. And they're going to fight some Terminators now. See the Terminators there demoralizing these units whenever they kill stuff. And they're doing it a lot because they're just Hormagaunts. But you saw there, even lowly Hormagaunts could tank the Terminators for a few seconds when they've got Power Fists. Teleporting away, the Sorcerer barely gets out of it. And there we see the Robes of Torment. It's a Warrior Brood now for Destoffel. Might see some melee Synapse and Gene Stealers perhaps. I thought he'd go tier 3 for Carnifexes. Thornback Carnifexes are great for fighting Lightning Claw Terminators, and here they come. I knew they would. Lightning Claws on the way for those guys. Splash damage, power melee, and a hell of a lot of it too. This guy gonna go down? Yeah. Just threw it into death, it seemed. Maybe to free up some population? Maybe. Still at 93 though. Now trying to bash power. Should make pretty short work of it, yeah, with the Venom Brood and the Tyrant Guard there. But here come the dreaded Lightning Claws. Oh, there's a Psychic Scream there from Roberto. There he goes. Level 7. And that's a decent way to help mitigate some of the damage of the Terminators there. I think it's 15 seconds, which is a decent chunk of time, really. Some fights don't even last that long, but these guys are now not debuffed. And the Tyrant Guard might need to go into shield wall here. Just look at the damage once they start get going. All three models. There's the shield wall, which might save it. Not sure if they have the power melee DPS to get through vehicle armor that's self-repairing. Looks like it's okay-ish. Maybe. I think with enough time they would get through it. Although they might not get that time. Terminator's having to teleport away there. Didn't drop a model though. Oh, there's some Chains of Torment. Level 7 Sorcerer. 267 to 324. Marco Tzeentch CSM do have their aspiring champion now. You see his plasma gun there. Decent burrow strike by the Raveners. And then they retreat. And Roberto's still here smacking around the Sorcerer. Stayed in play for ages. Level 7. Does he still have invulnerability available? Yep, there it goes. Might be able to get a model off these guys before he has to retreat. And does get a model. Well played, Roberto. Now you need to run away though, I think. There we go. Not going to get another model, so may as well get out now. 267 to 307. Meanwhile, we saw some Heretics decap the VP. Warrior Brood with Adrenal Glands are getting it back. Gives really powerful melee buffs to melee Tyranids. And we got another Warrior Brood here. Very strange from Destoffel. Why would you not go tier 3? Maybe they have a plan. Warrior Brood just in their default melee state. I wonder if he wants to get Barbed Stranglers to shut down the CSM. The Lightning Claws are just going to make such short work of all of that stuff. And of course you can use Warp to get these guys out of trouble too. So they could just run into base and mop up here. There was the Psychic Scream. Maybe it should have a little bit more of a visible effect, because it is quite a substantial debuff. 30% less damage. There's that Synapse backlash on kill. And that demoralization effect. They are going into base here. Not for long. They're backing away. Did they drop a model? No. One model's just stuck there for some reason. Not sure what's... Oh, he keeps getting knocked over by the base turrets. Or whatever they're called. What are they called? Hive nodes. And they killed him. They actually killed him. It's going to cost 50 power to reinforce that guy. But look how much resources Phase 2 has. Might see a Great Unclean one. In fact, I'm surprised we haven't seen one yet. 224 to 306. Not sure what Phase 2 is waiting for. I mean, they have the entire map pretty much. There's a Dark Flames. In fact, aside from a single wreck point over here, they do have the entire map. And this VP, obviously. But should be capitalizing on this with a big old Greater Demon, I think. No sign of it yet. There's some shield wall for the Tyrant Guard. Did they get a power bash? Doesn't seem like they did, you know. Felt like they had ample opportunity then to get one. Not sure what happened. It's a Land Raider Phobos on the way for Phase 2. Maybe they just expect Carnifexes. There's the tier 3 for Destoffel. has enough for a Tyranid formation, which might help stop a cap or something. What is this? Ravener Brood. They probably Burrow Strike there, but then didn't do anything. Oh, they've got the Enhanced Muscle Coil. Gives them more speed, more health, and more melee damage, I think. Yep, 33% more melee damage. And they can burrow indefinitely, as you see here. They will be spotted by detectors such as the Heretics with their Aspiring Champion. What level are you now, Mr. Sorcerer? Level 8 goes for the Tome of Subjugation. Can maybe... I guess you can't subjugate a Tyrant Guard. But you could subjugate Hormagaunts or something and turn them onto the Venom Brood. Venom Brood just got wrecked by some Inferno Bolts and stuff. What is this? Trying to take back his power. Alright, the power was phase 2. That's why it wasn't bashed, you dumbass. It was already blue. 214 to 267. It's a double cap here for Destoffel. Able to break out and get those caps. Ravener Brood with their sneaky burrowing are helping. The Land Raider Phobos hits the field. I wonder if this will stop Destoffel from getting the Carnifex. I don't think so. Maybe they want a Neurothrope instead to help against the Terminators and stuff. But I think a Thornback Carnifex just charging in there would be awesome. 178 to 267. Still the 2-1 for Destoffel. And they still have a VP lead. They've come back really well into this. Phobos is rolling forward. Destoffel's retaken a bunch of stuff, but we do have Noise Marines retaking this, and they can go and bash power afterwards, maybe. I don't know why this thing is going so far forward. It's taking a lot of damage, and there's a Tyranid formation. You've got the Tyrant Guard doing damage, you've got the Venom Brood doing damage, you've got the Warrior Brood doing damage. It's going to go down. Very, very strange play from phase 2. I think it was strange to get one in the first place. And then to do that with it. Very odd. Very odd. Still has a strong army. With the Terminators and stuff. What is he doing? Oh, he's subjugating something. Subjugating a Warrior Brood. But now they're not. Can those guys teleport away? They can. Oh, did they break a capillary tower just from teleporting in? That was awesome. 164 to 222. Heretics going for that cap again on the power. You're going to fight them Raveners. Those are level 4 Heretics. Oh, level 4 Raveners too. Warrior Brood here. They do have their Thorax Swarm. Electro Shock Grubs and Desiccator Larvae. Now, I forget what the Desiccator does. I think it increases the damage they take or something. In like an AoE. Double cap here for phase 2. And can get... I imagine you could get some more Terminators by now, actually. Can get a Great Unclean one soonish. Might just be worth it to get a tank, you know. Mark of Nurgle tank. There's a shield wall again, preventing death from the lightning claws. Wow, the Terminator's getting really low here. Are they stuck? What is this? Need to teleport away. There we go. They are so low. 128 hit points on 2 Terminators is pretty remarkable. That's pretty nuts. Got some Tzeentch worship there to infiltrate them. Level 9 Sorcerer and a level 8 Hive Tyrant. Roberto's done well. Doom Bolts. Missed, kind of. Now he put Coruscating Flame on himself. And really messed up those Hormagaunts. Bloody hell. There's a 2-1 for phase 2. Taking back the power is Destoffel with 2 units. Just to make sure he gets done. And Termagants on the contested VP. These guys are going to do some decapping. Bloodletter's on the way for phase 2. Certainly help. Teleporting onto the back lines. Messing up the Venom Brood and stuff. But really surprised we didn't see a tank here. Or a Great Unclean one. Or more Terminators. I mean, I expected many things before I expected Bloodletters. But it could be a stroke of genius. There's a good Doom Blast. Suppressed both of those Termagants. I guess they've both used their Crippling Poison already. certainly you saw one of them used. Oh, here come a whole bunch more Tyranid friends. What is this? Venom Brood getting caught in melee. And here's your Bloodletters. They are demons with power melee weapons, powerful in combat against other infantry, and you can teleport them and phase them out of existence and stuff. They got some tricks. They got some demony tricks. Benefit greatly from worship, as you may expect. You can actually shoot those guys underground, which is a bit weird. They do get away. And Terminators are decapping. Seems like at the moment it's a little bit easier for Destoffel with the capillary towers and stuff to contest that contested VP. What are these guys up to? Teleporting on a warrior brood there. Then they get crippled. You can't suppress these guys, but I guess crippling venomy stuff is still working. There's a nuke which didn't seem to do a whole lot again. Has wasted their nukes, I think. I don't think it did a whole lot. 123 to 139. It's a no-cap game and it's very close. Can Destoffel get a Carnifex? Maybe. Where are the Bloodletters right now? Are they capping? Sorcerer there subjugating the Venom Brood. I guess they couldn't subjugate the other things in the fight, although Hormagaunts showed up afterwards. Still level 4, those guys. But of course they are. You can't de-level Indrid. 123 to 110 double cap for phase 2. Gonna be a 2 to 1. Bloodletters just getting a few swings in before phasing out so they don't take damage. And here comes some Lightning Claw Terminators. I was gonna say they could put down Roberto quite quickly, but he does have the invulnerability and uses it immediately upon their arrival. Tyrant Guard then charges out. Gotta say it's good usage of this Tyrant Guard with Lightning Claw Terminators and Marco Tzeentch CSM. It's still alive. Level 3, over 3,000 hit points. That's pretty nuts. That's only like half of a Great Unclean one in terms of hit points. Pretty crazy for a tier 2 unit. Here come a Warrior Brood. They will do well against the CSM in melee, but not so well against these Terminators. Promptly scares them off. But look how much damage they did to the CSM there, and they got away without a model loss, I think. Yes. Bloodletter's gonna chop up the Tyrant Guard, or not. They just phase out. I think they should have fought it there. Oh hey, Carnifex. Starts off as a big melee monstrous creature. And I think the Thornback upgrade for more hit points and stuff is the way to go here. We have double Bloodletters from phase 2. 97 to 86 on the VPs. Doing some big chunks of damage to those Terminators, and since it's got melee resistance and vehicle armor, those Terminators are not going to do a lot of damage to it. In fact, I'm surprised they're even attacking that Carnifex. Oh, and it is getting the Thornback here. 50 power, it's an expensive upgrade, but it gives it like 300 hit points, or is it 400? 400 hit points. Allows it to charge and spawn Rippers too. It's a good fight for Destoffel. Phase 2 took a lot of damage in all of their squads pretty much. Needs to get that VP back though, Termagants. They're still fighting some Bloodletters here. And they're gone. Oh, was that a Circle of Summoning? I don't think it was. Circle of Summoning Bloodletters don't appear on the roster, do they? I'm confused. That Bloodletter seemed to disappear really fast. Maybe it was a Circle of Summoning. But Phase 2's army is messed up. And now they have to fight a Carnifex. I mean, this is a lot of stuff to fight. But it's leveled up to 2 now. The sheer amount of DPS is whittling down that health. Needs to be careful. I assume it can charge away though, if it needs to. There's a Tyranno formation, which should give some nice buffs to the Carnifex, as well as damage and disruption here. They are getting their VP back, but it's a double here for Destoffel. The Carnifex charges out. And we have a level 10 Hive Tyrant, level 10 Sorcerer too. What a game. Roberto throws up his invulnerability shield. Some seismic roaring. And tries to fight some Terminators. But there goes the shield. And there goes Roberto's health. Bloody hell, that was fast. I think Destoffel's got this. Bloodletter's trying to contest the top of the map there, but the Warrior Brood scared him off. Terminator is trying to cap. Very brave Ravener Brood getting into melee. And they're all attacking that one model. He might die. They got him. They sure got him. Some Havocs on the way for phase 2. Some late Havocs. Terminators did get the decap, but then they need to leave, I think. Did they teleport to get here? They might be screwed. That guy died. I assume they must have teleported to get to the VP, or they'd be using it right now. Go on, Roberto. There's a capillary tower to speed this stuff up a bit. Carnifex can't quite get attacks in. It's not warping them out either. Should be warping them or something. There's GG from phase 2. They can't really deal with the Carnifex. Even if this thing gets a las cannon, like, so what? It's just going to get charged by the Turret Guard or the Carnifex, or both. The Terminator fights to the end. But the 2-1 is going to see victory for Destoffel, and they seemed really far behind at one point. Had some strange purchases from phase 2. Expected a great and clean one, expected a tank, got neither. You've got to remember though that these 1v1s are not necessarily the most competitive games. Sometimes players are testing things out, having a bit of fun. So that might have been the case here. Would have tried some Bloodletters late game, I guess. Level 10 on both of the heroes was a fun 1v1. Must be one of the longest on the channel, I think. 37 minutes or something, wasn't it? Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.